at this moment in the Russian Federation, there's a network of mental patients who are coming very close to shooting Putin, which is kind of how I thought this would all play out. Indeed, it seems Putin's boys, i.e. the GRU, are effecting a containment strategy on me here in Warminster because they're based out of Salisbury. There are also various sleepers here who were recently activated and are basically overseeing a surveillance campaign against me by the Russian state, i.e. Putin's boys. Indeed, Putin's boys have me under constant surveillance because they know, I know, there is no genuine conflict between the United Kingdom and the Russian Federation. Indeed, it was the British and American intelligence services who put Putin into power in the 90s as part of a struggle between British and German intelligence for world domination. So it's interesting to consider that. Indeed, the Germans had a different plan, but the British intelligence services put Putin into power. So it's interesting considering the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst does run quite a lot of percentages of the Russian intelligence services. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Putin's boys here in Wiltshire are chiefly operative from Salisbury. Funnily enough, the location of the Sergei Skripal poisoning, which was, interestingly, a joint operation between British intelligence and the GRU. That's all very interesting to consider. It was to cause a tumult that would basically cause a rift between the Anglo and Russian peoples to attempt to drive everyone into a conflict. Indeed, despite the supposed statistics that certain number of Russian spies were expelled from the United Kingdom, there were still loads afterwards. So it's all very interesting indeed. These GRU networks and SVR networks are loyal to Vladdy. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. As I stated, there are a network of mental patients at the moment in the Russian Federation getting very close to shooting Vladdy. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. Vladdy has a personal vendetta against me because I revealed the truth about him being a Sabbatean. So it's all very interesting to consider that Vladdy has a personal vendetta against me and has a large network of Soviet spies and British double agents operating a scheme against me here in Warminster, involving elements of the local population that are loyal to the Soviet Union and elements of the local population who are loyal to the British Empire. So I'm caught in the middle of an international espionage struggle. Indeed, the British fascist factions are aligned with certain Soviet KGB factions in an ideological war against German aligned KGB factions. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I'm actually getting a little bit more and more confused about all of this because there seems to be a rift between British fascists and German Nazi continuums. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I despise all of these networks, and it's all very, very interesting to consider the fact that the Soviet GRU have me on the top of their death list. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Vladdy has given another personal kill order on me. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Vladdy really wants me dead because he knows he could get shot by my people. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Vladdy is terrified of a mental patient. So it's all very, very, very interesting to consider. Indeed, how does this connect to Devices Police and Walter Rose and Sons Butcher's Shop. It all connects through the organ trade. Indeed, Vladdy is a chief operative of the organ trade for a network of Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst operatives operating out of the catacombs beneath Bergen-Belsen concentration camp, i.e. the cemetery network. Indeed, this is an Anglo faction of the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst, so it's all very interesting to consider. These guys hanging out in a crypt are of Anglo heritage, and they coordinate the activities of Vladdy. So it's all very strange to consider indeed. I'm not really sure where to go with this because it's becoming more and more strange to analyze, because you have to take note of the fact that everything is so factional. There's no black and white distinctions in the espionage world. Indeed, it is all a rather confusing and very strange scenario. So it's all very strange. It's really awful what is happening to me here. All the hostility from the local rednecks and a bunch of local gangsters who are actually grasses, attempting to grass me up for things I haven't actually done. So it's all very interesting. This is all to do with the organs. This is the thing. It seems like a large percentage of British people in Wiltshire seem to have some connection, even tentatively, to Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop and the syndicate operating out of there. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. Vladdy has a personal wish to see me dead before he's dead. However, I don't think that's going to happen, Vladdy. So it's all very interesting to consider that the Soviet GRU are monitoring my every move. Indeed, I believe they have eyes on me at all time during my wanderings around Warminster. The Soviet GRU are watching me at all time. Not to mention, MI5 have set up a house just around the corner with operatives working in shifts to monitor me. So it's interesting to consider that I'm being surveilled by agents from two nations, watching basically everything I am doing. Indeed, it's all a rather strange situation indeed. This is the thing. They believe I insinuated my way into the game as a dangerous lunatic, which isn't too far from the truth. Indeed, there's a network of Serbs operating out of Kosovo who want my head on a spike for exposing the fact that there are Serbian networks involved in the Kosovo organ trade. Indeed, I have no loyalty to any nations, so I must expose intelligence matters as I see fit. Indeed, this operation of Serbian organ harvesting is run out of Kosovska Mitrovica. So it's interesting, I have been there. Indeed, there are elements of a false conflict being utilized by mafiosi of both Albanian and Serbian heritage to keep a conflict going, which doesn't really need to continue. So it's all very interesting what is going on. Indeed, the organ trade seems to be dividing communities. Indeed, it's all very interesting, the amount of profit that can be made, especially when there are people on the client list for these organs who are as rich as the elite of the Russian Federation. Indeed, the elite of the Russian Federation, there is literally no limits to their wealth. And as we see, Vladdy is one of these people. So it's all very interesting and very strange. Indeed, it would only take a deranged mind to figure all of this out. And that's what annoys the Russian intelligence services so much, is that a deranged mind has figured everything out and is talking about it with such composure. This is the thing I figured. If my schizophrenia was solely substance based and substance driven, then I would be alright by now. But I'm not. So it's still very interesting to consider. I believe my schizophrenia may indeed be hereditary. It's probably inherited from a mad Slav somewhere in my bloodline. So it's all very interesting indeed. Vladdy is very close to death. Indeed, Vladdy is close to being shot by a mental patient. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. Vladdy has a personal hatred of paranoid schizophrenics, especially in recent years. Indeed, Vladdy is obsessed with me and monitors my communications and my YouTube channel personally. So it's all very interesting. I seem to have a personal feud going on with the president of the Russian Federation. So it's all very interesting to consider that the Russian Federation, the future of it, is basically in the hands of a lunatic in Wiltshire. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I may sound like a lunatic, and I am a lunatic, but I am no fool in the traditional sense of the word fool. If you are utilizing the word fool to refer to lunatic, then I'm certainly a fool. But if you are utilizing the word fool to refer to someone with low intellect, then I am most certainly not a fool. Indeed, devices are learning to their detriment not to mess with paranoid schizophrenics in future. Indeed, they have me on their hit list apparently. But I'm not scared of a load of wannabe gangsters wearing designer jean shorts, playing at Mafia. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. I'm not scared of devices at all. If I was, I wouldn't walk around. Indeed, Devizes isn't very far from Warminster. You can take a quick journey in the car from Devizes to Warminster. So it's all very interesting indeed. They know I don't fear them, apparently, so they're considering a different method of warfare involving utilizing local felines to entrap me in some way. But it's interesting because I am completely aware of the fact that that might happen, and therefore I am going to take steps to avoid it. Indeed, if this means I cannot communicate with local felines, then that's the way it has to be. Indeed, there needs to be some terminology explained to Devizes people, especially in regard to felines. However, I'm going to leave that open to their interpretation. Indeed, my loyalty is now to the felines around here, despite the fact I haven't communicated with any of them. However, if ISIS police are attempting a scare tactic on local felines by building up a rumour that I am a dangerous murderer, which I'm not entirely sure is the truth. However, I do have vague recollections of killing 17 people in Eastern Europe during the years 2013 and 2014. However, I cannot confirm that this happened because it may have been a visionary experience. Or maybe it hasn't happened yet. That's the thing. Who knows? Indeed, I hate Vladdy and I hate his vibe. Also, I know he's a pederast and he's in the closet. So it's interesting to consider. Indeed, a lot of Putin's boys are closet homosexuals. So it's interesting to consider. Indeed, they portray this macho image for the Western public, but in reality, they are actually closet homosexuals. That seems to be the case with a lot of these outright alpha males. They often seem to be closet homosexuals, so it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Putin's boys have regular orgies male only. There are lots of rumors around Russia that the Russian intelligence services engage in all-male orgies. And this is true. However, it's very difficult to glean information about the activities of the Russian cryptocracy due to the level of censorship and the possibility of being thrown out a window. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Putin's boys are considering defenestrating me, interestingly. However, I'm not entirely sure that that's going to happen. Indeed, I don't think Putin's going to live much longer, what with the lunatics closing in on him. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, perhaps Putin himself will be defenestrated by a mental patient. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, rumors are abound that I'm not working for the Russian state. And this is good because I am not. I have no allegiance to Putin or Putin's boys. Indeed, if you view this channel, you've realized that I talk about Putin's boys rather a lot and not in an affectionate way. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, there are networks of lunatics taking great joy in seeing Putin fall. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the mistreatment suffered at the hands of Putin by mental patients is beyond words. So it's interesting to consider. Indeed, Putin is technically an operative of British intelligence, interestingly. So it's all very interesting to consider this. Indeed, Putin is controlled by a network of DVD agents aligned to the British faction of the Anglo-German cryptocracy. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, these are Mosley's boys, really. This is a grand empire network that want to control the world and make the world Wiltshire. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I don't really like Wiltshire very much. That's the thing. The scenery is lovely, but the people are shitbags. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Wiltshire people really are scummy people. Indeed, apart from certain local felines, I really don't like Warminster or the Warminster population at all. So it's interesting to consider where we're going to go, what direction we're going to go in. Indeed, this is a garrison town. So there's going to be shitloads of child rapists here, because that's what happens around military bases. There's always shitloads of child rapists around my military bases. Indeed, even the mayor, Councillor Jack Jones, is more worried finding out I'm not working for the Russian state than he would have been if he believed I was. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I am a lunatic. I am just a lunatic. That is all I am. I am just a lunatic. However, I am no fool, in the sense of fool meaning a person of limited intellectual capacity. I am no fool. Though I am a fool if you utilize the term fool for lunatic. In that case, I am the fool of international espionage. Indeed, I seem to have got myself into a very precarious situation in between factions of British and Russian intelligence. However, this could work out for my benefit. Indeed, this could work out for the best. I have no problems simply becoming the local eccentric. However, there are too many networks of defense intelligence giving me hassle by networks of policemen and gang stalkers. So it seems that Warminster may come into my exposures on a rather large level in the coming weeks. So it's all very interesting indeed. Vladdy is getting very close to death. Indeed, Grigor is coming for you, Vladdy. So it's all very interesting to consider. All very interesting to consider indeed. Indeed. This is the thing, this has been a little bit of a departure from the usual videos on the Roundway experiment. However, in the morning we shall return to an in-depth analysis of certain German and British intelligence networks that interlink with Soviet ones regarding the Roundway experiment. Indeed, all of these networks are interlinking. It's time to stop thinking in terms of empires and start thinking in terms of networks. The British Empire died a long time ago. I don't know why you people here in Warminster are trying to hold on to it. It doesn't exist. They're only networks, corporations, think tanks, and intelligence networks. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. I don't exactly know where I'm going with this video diary, but that's the thing. It is just a video diary, so it's all very interesting indeed. The Russian intelligence services have issued a condemnation whereby they have stated, if I refer to Putin as Vladdy, they will shoot me dead. Indeed, I've just done it several times in this video. Vladdy. It's all very interesting to consider, indeed. It's all very strange. Indeed, one lunatic is in a position to cause an international incident. It's all very interesting. That's why certain security services networks are a bit concerned about an international situation arising. Indeed, this is the problem that Troy Southgate, is attempting to operate a Blackwell legacy on me, whereby he would become Archibald Blackwell, that arsehole, MI5 operative, operating for both the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst and the Soviets, set the schizophrenic Michael up as a Soviet spy and had him put in Broadmoor for the rest of his life on a treason charge, where he spent the majority of the time in solitary, all because he came close to exposing the Roundway experiment. It's interesting. There are so many Soviet connections to the Roundway experiment that it's really interesting to consider the actual crossover during the Cold War between the Western cryptocracies and the Soviet one. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. I'll leave this to your fertile imaginations for the night and carry on in the morning, because I want to do some research really, and I'm expecting my medication at 8 o'clock. Indeed, I'm about to ask my mental health worker tomorrow for one more upgrade in my medication, because the chemistry is working for me in terms of circuitry. So it's all very interesting indeed. I am living life on an antipsychotic buzz, so it's all very interesting to consider indeed. I feel better than I've ever felt, apart from the constant beaming. Now, who is beaming at me? Soviets and British, I believe, indeed. I may have been right that the GRU have been operating dirty technology on me, as have Devices Police, which is all very interesting to consider indeed. Devices Police are attempting to have my genitals removed, apparently. Though why they would want to do that, I do not know, indeed. I think they're beginning to realize that they can't do anything to me anymore, because they're tied in place by factions that are sympathetic to me within the British intelligence services, apparently. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. Devices' hands are bound. They cannot touch me. They cannot assault me. And they cannot rape me again. So it's all good. Now, why would they want to remove my genitals? I expect they want to eat them. That's very strange. Indeed. James Spencer, PC James Spencer of Devices Police, wants to eat my penis. That's really weird. What's wrong with these devices, cunts? Something is seriously wrong with these devices, cunts. Something is seriously wrong indeed with devices. I think the devil's in the water in devices. There's something wrong with them. Something seriously sick about that town. Indeed, I'm going to leave it there now.